Chimamanda, Chimamanda, Chimamanda. Oh man, Chimamanda. Oh, Chimamanda. Amanda. Greetings, Raphael Chamakajere here, Pastor Vam Vam Vam. I want to share with you an expose from Chimamanda. Chimamanda exposes how she saw the light, how her eyes was opened, and she refuses to be called an English name. And she invented herself a name, Chimamanda. Wonderful exposition. A revelation, honestly. Even I was knocked off because I actually believed that was a name given to her by her parents. What an intelligent woman. A Biafran, of this 21st century. Anya Batago. Yes, I am Pastor Mama. What this video share it and make it go viral. Tell them we have seen the lights. Nothing with English. English Makwoko. My son have no English name. His name is Namdi. Namdi Ajere. He has no English name. English Makwoko. Enjoy the video. Airborne.
Because I made up the name.
You were not named Chimamanda?
No, I invented Chimamanda. I created Chimamanda.
Wait. Your parents didn't name you Chimamanda. You're kidding me.
No, I'm not kidding you.
Is this the first time I'm hearing this?
Yes, because I haven't talked about it.
When did you invent this name? No, sorry. I'm sorry. This is like an aha.
No, but it's true.
I'm actually shook.
Yep, it's true. So, and the reason I think I decided to talk about it because, when we say that culture doesn't change.
Yeah.
Do you know how many young people in Igbo land are called Chimamanda today?
There's a plethora of, off the top of my head, I can think of 6 right now who I know.
There you go.
So I'm wondering, when did this happen? You don't have to tell me.
It happened shortly before my first novel was published. So, I don't want to tell you this story, please. No need.
You don't have to go too deep. No, because I think it's interesting, because considering how popular the name is now.
Yes.
It's interesting to see that you actually came up with that.
Yes.
Because I always wondered, how did your parents in the 70s think of this cool?
Because there's something very sort of the moment about the name, right? You can't imagine parents in 1977.
Exactly. It keeps me up at night. I'm not going to kid you.
Okay, so you know what? So I was born Ngozi Grace.
Your mom is Grace?
My mother is Grace.
Okay, my mom is Grace too, but go on.
And so growing up, I always felt that I wasn't Grace. Grace was my mother, right? And Ngozi felt to me too common. And so even though it was the name, so in primary school, I was Ngozi. And then being Catholic, one of the joys of Catholicism is you get to choose a name when you get confirmed, right?
Yeah.
So I thought, what name will I choose? And the priest said, it has to be the name of a saint. So people were just choosing ridiculous names like Bernadette. I was like, nope. So what did I choose? I read a novel, and there's a character called Amanda. So I was like, my name is Amanda. The priest said, it is not a saint's name. I said, Father, that's the name.
That is my name.
So I sort of pushed and they let me. So I was Amanda at confirmation, right? And then, so I was Amanda from secondary school, and then to first year of university in Osaka when I was studying medicine. And then I went to the US. And I think it was sort of maybe, I'm going to say a month into my time in the US. I was in class in undergrad, and there were 5 people with that name, Amanda.
It was not so unique anymore.
But it wasn't just that. It was the way it was pronounced. Amanda? Amanda, do you want to tell me what you're doing? And I thought, what the hell? This is so not me, right? It just felt, and I suddenly realized, no, I can't. And so I started thinking, how can I now change? So remember that I had already changed myself from Ngozi to Amanda. So I started thinking, how can I change it? So for a while, I would merge both. I would call myself Amanda Ngozi, because I really wanted to let them know I'm not Amanda.
Yeah, you're not one of them.
Yes. and also it was a learning experience for me, because the kind of thing you think is cool in Nigeria, suddenly I thought, this is nonsense, right? Wanting an English name is so stupid. So I'm sort of struggling with this thing, calling myself Amanda Ngozi. And And then just before my novel was published, I remember thinking, and I remember exactly where I was when it came to me. And I'm not a person who's given to this kind of Pentecostal talk, but it felt like a revelation. It really did. I was in my brother's house in England, in the tiny guest room, lying on a narrow bed, thinking about my novel is going to be published. And I don't want to be introduced to the world.
As Amanda
as
Adichie.
Amanda, yes. And I'm sitting there thinking, and I wanted an Igbo name. But I didn't want Ngozi because I didn't feel like Ngozi. Ngozi felt too common. And Ngozi I think is a lovely name.
I mean, the meaning is great.
Yes. But it's so common I didn't feel like me. And I remember just lying there and it just came to me. It just came to me, Chimamanda. And it helped that, and by the way, when I was thinking about a name, it wasn't, obviously I could have just picked an Igbo name, but I wanted a name that had Amanda in it.
Yes.
So that I wouldn't have to change my
Completely
passport
lose
and my,
it, yes.
and my, no, because I already had this identity. I had a passport with that name. I had a driver's license with that name. I had bank accounts with, so it was really about me thinking, how can I hold on to this name, but then make it Igbo?
I'm so blown away by this entire story. And I'm also quite relieved because I just kept thinking,
you're wondering why your parents did not come up with a name for you. And my father, God bless him, once some years ago, somebody was saying to him, Prof, that name is such a fine name. How did you come up with it? My father, who is just like he's a congenital truth teller, starts saying, no, we did not. And I was like, Daddy, don't tell them.
Don't reveal this.
And I'll tell you why. The reason I didn't want to talk about it, and I'm only talking about it now because I've actually decided to write about it, is because I wanted to give it time to have its own legitimacy.
Yeah.
Had I started talking about it very early on, it would have been very easy to dismiss, right? But in some ways, it feels it's legitimate now because half of the kids being born in Igbo land have been named Chimamanda. So
honestly, I'm impressed.
So whoever says that we cannot change culture, we can.
And the meaning is also very profound, which is my God will never fail or never fall. And it just makes a lot of sense, which is why the name is also popular, because it's cool. Yes. You can make it into whatever you want, but its meaning is also quite interesting. Yes. But if you were Amanda before Chimamanda, why then did you not want to be called Amanda? Still. I told you. Yeah, you just didn't like the way it was.
I don't want to have an English name.
Okay.
I no longer want to have an English name. I have seen the light. And no, and which is also why I don't like to have my name shortened.
Yeah.
So that's really the story. Yeah. I don't. When people say, can we call you Amanda? I'm like, no, you cannot.
Were you ever worried about the mispronunciations?
No,
because you were going to be a writer.
No, because I think really for me the only thing that matters is that a person makes a genuine effort.
Yeah.
That people who are, language is such an interesting thing. There are names that I want to pronounce properly and I don't, but I try. And so when people say, "Oh, I don't want to use my, as Nigerians I want to, native name,"
yes,
because they will mispronounce it. Yeah, those are just so. And I think, but if they do, that's fine, as long as there's a genuine effort to try and say it properly. It's still your name and you own it. I don't think that that's a reason to back away from your name because there's a potential of somebody mispronouncing it. It doesn't make sense to me.
How did your parents feel about